Hey there everybody, it's Mark Crilley. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about designing characters, coming up with your own characters. I'm going to give you my best advice on this subject, and we're going to begin by looking at my preparatory work for the character of Talia from Brody's Ghost. Now this is one of the ones that I did really early on, and I would advise you when coming up with a character to not go with the very first thing that pops into your head. Try different types of designs. Like you can see here that she was very cartoony at this stage, and that was something that was worthy of consideration. Over time I decided to go a little more realistic looking, and I'll give you one specific example. People ask me about costumes or clothing choices. You can see me here trying out some sort of unique clothing that would convey the idea that she's a ghost, and so I had her wearing this top that says dead across the front, and that was one early possibility. Now what I decided to do in a subsequent page of sketches was playing around with lots of different kinds of clothing choices, but down here you will see I came up with the idea of RIP on her shirt, and so that I really liked, and I thought, yeah, let's keep that. Let's get rid of the handkerchief around the neck or whatever. A lot of these other things did not remain with the character. But mostly I really want you to see that I was experimenting. I was trying to look at all the different possibilities before I settled on what she would eventually look like. And here you see maybe where I finally started to zero in on the hairstyle and the clothing, and it all started to come together until we come to the actual printed book, Brody's Ghost, and by then, of course, it was imperative that I establish exactly what she was going to look like. And I think some people have seen this page before, but it's maybe interesting to compare from this sketch to the final design. Pretty close. I think you see the plaid on her skirt, maybe is the key difference between these two things. Otherwise, I had finally figured it out at this stage. Now, one thing that I know a lot of people want to learn about is how to draw the same character from different angles and have them consistently, read as the same character. And that's maybe a topic for another video, and I'll have to figure out a way of teaching that. But I thought I'd show you that even with my published book, what I would do is go back and separate the faces from the actual artwork and have a sort of handy cheat sheet where I could go back and look at the way I had drawn the character in different poses, from the side, from the front, different facial expressions. And that way, anytime I was drawing the character in a subsequent part of the story, I could go back and look at this sort of self-created reference in a way, just to make sure that I was staying consistent and not gradually changing things over time. Speaking of which, let me show you how that happened to me in a different series. So here's my first published comic book, Akiko on the Planet Smoo, which later became the series Akiko. And I want to show you how this character, Spuckler, changed over time. Now, I had not spent quite so much time preparing for publication. I kind of quickly came up with these characters, and before you knew it, I was doing a monthly series, and over time I found that I was sort of unconsciously changing the way that I drew that character. So there you see a later version of Spuckler, almost beginning to look like a different character. And that's one of the dangers of not preparing a lot prior to getting your first story out there. I should say, though, it happens to the best of them. If you look at the early version of Snoopy from Peanuts, from the Charlie Brown comic strip, oh my goodness, it changed so much, almost unrecognizable after, the first 10 or 15 years. So anyway, let's move on to my next piece of advice. Now, like I said, a lot of people have trouble drawing the same character consistently over time, and so I thought I'd show you one page of Mastering Manga where I take 4 different versions of the same character and kind of break it down into these grid-like patterns to do a comparison of how much space the eyes occupy and so forth. Each one of these has a circle at the heart of it, and so that you know you're starting with the same thing every time. Now, are you going to draw a grid like this every single time you draw your character? Maybe not, but you should analyze, once you find the version of the character that you like most, do a sort of analysis like this. Pop a circle in there, maybe get some lines in there to help you see where are the eyes, how far are they from the nose, the mouth, the chin, and so forth. And then, that's going to help you draw the character more consistently as you go from one panel to the next. Now, like I said, I think I need to do another video that will be more of, step-by-step showing you how you can do this, how you can draw a character consistently and from different angles and so forth. But I thought I'd at least get a little start by way of this video. All right, now everyone knows that clothing choices make a big difference in differentiating one character from another. So in Mastering Manga 2, I did a section where I compared different clothing choices for essentially the same character. If you look at this guy here, basically the same guy. I mean, I changed his hair color, the glasses, but not that big of a difference in terms of the way his face is drawn. But the clothing is really telling you, boy, these are two different types of characters. And then over here, I did the same thing with a female character. Of course, radically different perception of these two characters based on the clothing and hairstyles. As for how do you do this, that's going to have to wait for another video. But let me know in the comments section which parts of this video you find most interesting, or the things that you most want me to elaborate on in subsequent videos, and I'll make sure that I do that in videos yet to come. Now, my final piece of advice for you for this video, and possibly the most important one, is to not forget about the writing. I think sometimes we think that we need to spend all this time designing the look of the character. We forget that the dialogue is what really conveys a character's personality. Now, I had this guy, Captain Hikosaka. He's only in the story for a short time. Yes, the drawing conveys some sense of what type of guy he is, but it's really the way he talks that puts it across. So, here Hiro is going to use the Japanese sort of greeting when you first meet someone, Hajime mashite. And he says, Hajime Hiro, right? So he interrupts him before he can complete the, standard greeting. That tells us something about this guy. He just kind of swats aside the standard greeting. And your little sweetie there, that must be Miki. Thank you, Captain Hikosaka. Thank you for doing this for us. No need for brown-nosing, boy. Ray-chan paid me good enough. Okay, so all this stuff is the words that I have chosen to have come out of his mouth. That's really the crucial stuff in terms of helping us to understand who he is. The design, sure, important. I wanted him to look distinctive. Whoops, going out of focus there. But yeah, don't shortchange yourself by forgetting about the dialogue. Let me give you one more example of this. Okay, so in Brody's Ghost Book 1, we meet Brody's best friend, Gabe, who is a policeman. Of course, we get a good look at him. We get to know what his, uniform looks like and all that kind of stuff. But really, the important thing is the dialogue, the conversation that he has with Brody. Now, Brody has been very upset during the course of this conversation about his ex-girlfriend, Nicole. And Gabe says, Brody, please, calm down, will you? I'm just trying to give you the benefit of my experience here. And Brody says, I know, Gabe, but you don't have this experience. You don't know what it's like to be with Nicole the way I was. To have her and then lose her. You don't have that experience, man. And Gabe says, so far as you know. And then Brody gets the shocked expression, and Gabe says, I'm joking. Lighten up, all right? Look, I'd love to stay here and compare heartaches with you, man, but I got to get back to the station. And so, there's something about a little dialogue scene like this in which your character begins to come alive. We see this look on Gabe's face. We see him making a joke on this potentially touchy subject. To me, that says these guys really are close friends. If he feels comfortable enough to make a joke at such a time as that. And, I can't really explain it in a technical way, but you just get a sense that these guys are alive when you put them into a scene. Now, if you've been sitting around making drawings like this of your character over and over again, That's all well and good, but you need to really get that character into some sort of dialogue scene, and that's when you're going to begin to understand who they are. You know, you need to see them saying things, doing things, making choices. That is the key to building characters. So that would be my biggest piece of advice to you. Don't just spend all your time designing the character. You need to really start telling a story with the character, and that's when the character can start to surprise you. You know, they start to do things that you maybe didn't expect them to, only because of the situation they're in, you know, causing them or causing you to get this idea for something they might do in that situation. So I'm going to have to sort of wind it down there. Sorry there was not drawing in this video. There will be in future videos on this topic, but please leave your suggestions in the comment section about what kind of things you'd like me to teach related to creating characters. I'll be reading all those comments, and consider this the first in a series of videos on this very important topic. But for now, let's go ahead and wind it down. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another one real soon.